Technology has connected the planet and, in so doing, erased the historical barriers of time and distance. Each of us now has the capacity to connect to anyone on the planet. And yet the more connected we are, the more isolated we often feel. As humans, we have more of everything than at any other point in history. We have longer lives, more wealth, better health, greater education, and more opportunity. Yet for many of us, the range of choices produces a curious paralysis and even fear. We search for meaning and connection in a world that often seems increasingly devoid of both. On the one hand, we're caught up in the chaotic swirl of modern life, and on the other, often feel isolated and alone, even in our own homes. In the midst of all this, we're confronted with the ever-present question, what does it mean to be a man? Where do I belong? What is my measure of self-worth? Where and how do I contribute in this world today? These questions often live in the background as we race through the day-to-day activities that enable us to build families and careers. And yet, lingering in the shadows, there's a little voice that keeps asking the big question, is this all there is? Now, we tranquilize ourselves in a host of ways to avoid this question and our lack of a satisfying response, and yet it persists and gets louder and louder as time goes by until one day it will not be denied any longer. You cannot stay that busy, and no amount of stuff will stop the question, as the voice of your destiny will not be silenced. For most of human history, the question of what it means to be a man never arose, as the answer was obvious. Today, not so much. It seems that everywhere you turn, there is some new call to reshape who we are as men, what our role is in society, what we should and should not be doing, and importantly, who and how we should be being men. The net effect is that we see the need for a program for men. It doesn't really matter what measure you want to use. Life expectancy, education, general health, suicide rate, divorce rate, financial well-being, and perhaps most importantly, what I will term meaning, purpose, and satisfaction with their lives. Men are trending downward. This is unfortunate at the personal level and a disaster for us as society. The world needs men to be men, not some feminized version of men who never raise their voices and talk about their feelings all day, or some throwback Neanderthal version of men who beat their chests, eat raw meat, and talk sports and cars all day, but a new contemporary version of a man who embodies passion, power, purpose, integrity, and honor in a life well lived in the world of today. Now, I only know one thing for certain. There is no one right way to be a man. There are, however, lots of ways that clearly don't work, and the evidence of that is all around us. This program is based on 30 years of working with men and women from around the world. The foundation we have built on is solid, the result is predictably good, and at the same time, this work is not for everyone. To be clear, this program is not for the faint of heart, those who are looking for a quick, instant magic pill, or for wannabe dabblers who are looking to accessorize their egos. It has taken decades for you to become the man you are today. The notion that you're going to transform that way of being in some big weekend or by reading a book ought to be insulting, and certainly is not going to happen. The promise of this program is to guide and shape you into becoming the man you were destined to be. Now, we each have our own unique destiny, and thus while the process is the same for all of you, the result will be different for each of you. What I can promise is that if you do the work that is set out in this program, you will open the door to a vastly different future for yourself and those that you care about. In the end, one of a man's fundamental jobs is to manage his legacy, the legacy of his family, his community, his country, and we will now add his planet. That's what I am up to, and that's what I'm going to work on with you.